Steve, what do you think about the way the Kings took a 26-point deficit, transformed that into just a 4-point deficit, and just the furious nature of the finish?
Yeah, they did a good job getting back in the game, but we won. So I'm looking at the positive. We played at times brilliantly, and we couldn't sustain it. So, it was closer than it should have been, but I give Sacramento a lot of credit. Mike's doing a great job with those guys. They're fighting. They're competing. They've had 3 close losses now to start the year. They've gotten a lot better, and we let our guard down, and they took advantage of it. But we got the win, and I'm pleased with that.
How much of your goal entering the fourth was to try to, give the youth the whole quarter and not have to bring the veterans back in?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a balance. I think Dante's injury kind of messed up, the rotation a little bit, and put a lot of pressure on JP as a playmaker. And we had Clay's minutes restriction, so we went to him to start the fourth to try to get a little more offense out there. But I think the ball just stopped moving. I mean, we had 24 assists for the game. I think 8 in the second half. Ball completely stopped moving. Not just during the stretch. When we were giving up the lead, but throughout the third quarter, I thought it was just one pass shot over and over again. So everything that happens during the game contributes to what happens later on. And, we had several bad possessions that, even with our first unit, that set a bad tone. So tough sledding for that second group, but they'll get better, and it's a good experience for them.
Hamstring for Dante?
Hamstring for Dante. He won't go to Phoenix, and we'll reevaluate for the road trip, or for Miami, and then the road trip after that.
Gotcha.
Steve, what are your thoughts going into the half with, a 18-point lead, but giving up 71 points to the Kings in the half?
Well, it was a furious pace in the first half. But they spread you out, and De'Aaron Fox, puts a lot of pressure on you. So the first half was, I thought we played really well. There were too many stretches where we fouled, and they get to the line, and now we have to play in the half court. So that was my biggest disappointment in the first half, was just the fouling. But otherwise, we had great flow, and the ball was moving. As I said, 16 assists first half. And then second half was a totally different story. We played very poorly and let our guard down, but, we'll learn from that.
There was a play in the early fourth. I mean, you called timeout right after. You were particularly upset about it. Was it something that happened on that particular?
Transition defense, yeah. The main thing was just the lack of energy, You got, a group of reserves out there. Those guys should be dying to be on the floor and flying around and playing with huge energy, and that was what I was upset about. It was a careless transition defense possession. There was no juice, no life to that group, and we're going to have to find what we're looking for in terms of energy and leadership. It's not entirely fair to them to, put all those guys together, but it's a tough league. It's sink or swim, and you gotta figure it out.
To stay with the positive, Jordan did get going offensively more tonight with 24 points. What do you think about his game overall?
He was great. He got to the rim, knocked down some threes, got to the foul line, did a lot of really good things for us.
And then some more earlier minutes tonight for Moses Moody. What do you think about him and his game overall, too?
Well, Moses does a good job out there understanding spacing and, being in the right place, playing good defense. So Moses was fine. He didn't really get anything going offensively, but he was a good, a good part of our first half, getting the lead and finding that flow offensively as a group.